Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome to NIOS Simplified. I am Ruchita and in today's video, I would like to explain chapter 9 of data entry operations, which is creating presentations. Now the subject code for the same is 229 and this is for the students studying under the National Institute of Open Schooling or NIOS board in short, and this is for them who have taken data entry operations as one of their subjects. So I also want to, before getting started, I also want to explain a little bit about the video. This is not the entire chapter. I have not covered the entire chapter in this video. I figured that maybe I can divide the chapter into parts because for me personally, whenever I try to study from YouTube, it was difficult to stay focused after a while. So I wanted that maybe it could be divided in parts, and maybe I could have taken a little bit of break and then focused on the second part. So I have divided it into parts, and as always, if you have any sort of doubts regarding this chapter, do let me know in the comments below and I will try my best to help you. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with the 9th chapter. Now, before we begin, I would like to ask you a very small question. It is very easy, but if you do not know the answer, please do not panic. It is absolutely normal to not know some things, and we are all learning. And if you do know the answer, please pause the video right there, comment down below what your answer is, and play it and try to match your answer with ours. So, the question is why do we make a PowerPoint presentation or a PPT in short? So the answer will be to communicate. And if you haven't understood this, let me give you an example. Let's say that you're throwing a party and you want to send out digital invitations to your friends or whoever you're inviting. Out of Word, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint, which one will you be using most likely? Honestly, for me, it would be PowerPoint because I do not have much of content that I need to tell them, but at the same time, I need them to know the important details like the location, the time, the date, and I also want it to be fun and interactive so they are not bored, and that is why I would choose to make it in a PowerPoint. So in basically you would not design it in a Word or an Excel sheet because you want it to be so much more interactive and fun with all those colors, shapes, all those fonts, everything that you need to communicate your message to them. So that is why we basically make a PowerPoint, and that is to communicate. Okay, so let's dive into the explanation of the 9th chapter. Features of PowerPoint. So there are 4 features in total. The first one is several ways to make a presentation. Now what they mean by that is something that you will understand later in the video when I explain it. But just know that there are so many ways to create a presentation. That is, you can create one of your own designs, or you can choose some of the designs that Microsoft has selected and installed in your computer. So it's not just one way that you have to build from the start. There are some templates which offer a preset theme, so you don't have to worry about the design, and if it matches your needs, you can use it. So your work is quicker now. So that's what they mean. Okay, now the second feature is that slides are the roots to your presentation. What do they mean by that? It is very simple to understand. Basically, you cannot make a PPT without using any slide. So let's say that you want to fill in something into your PPT. You will have to make a slide to make the content fit in it. Otherwise, the content will not be seen. So the slides are the building blocks. They are the foundation of PowerPoint, and without them PowerPoint cannot function. You do not have a PowerPoint without the slides. So that is why they are called the roots to your presentation. Okay, so let's look into the third feature now. It's called so many multimedia features. What they mean by that is it is not just pictures that you can upload. There are videos, charts, tables, everything that you need to be in the PowerPoint. Microsoft does it for you. And the last one is it is easy to make and use. And by that they mean that any beginner will be able to make a PowerPoint within a few minutes, depending on their need, and they don't struggle because it's very user friendly and it is very easy to use for the people who haven't made PPT before. So that's the fourth point. Okay, so the next topic is how do I start PowerPoint? So the first step that you need to take is click on the home button. So the home button is something like the one I've enlarged in the picture, and it is very easy to spot. It is on the bottom left of your screen, of your home screen, and once you click on it, it will take you to a list, and out of the list you have to select all programs, and that is your step 2. So this first step is to click on the home button, and when the list opens, step 2, you have to choose all programs. Now on step 3, out of all programs, you have to, it creates another list, yeah. You have to click on Microsoft Office, which finally opens the last list of Microsoft applications that are there on your laptop, and you choose the required Microsoft application. So in this case, Microsoft PowerPoint 2007. So there is a tip that I need to tell you. So when we are going to explain and cover Word, Excel and PowerPoint, I would say that it will be very easy for you to use, for you to explain the steps if you just understand this teeny little detail. So I wanted to tell you that the first 3 steps when you're opening Microsoft Word, Excel or PowerPoint is the same. So I hope you understand and memorize till step 3. And step 4, you just have to write down the application name, and that is enough. That's how you're gonna get marks, and learning like that will be easy because you can relate to the other apps as well. So do keep that in mind, and it will fetch you good marks if asked in the paper. Okay, so our next topic today is ribbons, tabs, groups and commands. So it is actually very simple to understand once you get the hang of it. So please do pay attention, and if you have notes, if you need notes, please take notes as well. So you can see the brown or orange line where you can see the words file, home, insert, yeah. So all of them, that is file, home, insert, design, transitions, animations, slideshow and review, all of them together are known as the ribbon. So let's say that you are saying that on the ribbon, you mean all of them, like file, home, everything together makes it a ribbon. And how do you identify a ribbon? It is very simple. It is always colored. So if you see below them, you can see that there are a lot of buttons there, but all of them are having blank background. So the ribbon always is colored. So do watch out for that. So it is very easy to spot the ribbon. Just know that it is the colored line with at least words starting from file and home. So that line is always going to be the ribbon line. Now let's go to tabs. Okay, now while file, home, everything is collectively called ribbon, what is each of them called? Yeah. So file, home, all of them separately are known as tabs. So for example, I want to open the insert tab. So I will say in the ribbon, go on the insert tab. So file tab, group, home tab, insert tab, design tab, all of them separately are called tabs. Okay, now that you click on any one of the tabs, you see that there's a line of buttons and it is grouped together, yeah. So let's say for this example, we are taking the insert tab and we are looking into the groups. So slides, tables, images, they are all called groups. So they are called groups. So it will be like slides group, tables group, images group, illustrations group, and add-ins group. So that is how they work. They collectively do not have a name, but each of them is called a group. Why? Because the buttons or the commands in each group is related to each other. So for example, let's take the illustrations group, yeah. So the shapes, smart art, and the charts, they all can be inserted into the PowerPoint easily, and they are illustrations. That is why they are grouped together and called in the illustrations group. There is shapes command, smart art command, and chart command. So I have circled everything in different colors. So the black one is ribbon, the purple one is group, and the yellow one is finally command. So let's say that you want to open the shapes command. How are you going to write it in the exam? It is very simple. This is how you do it. In the ribbon, in the ribbon, go to the insert tab and under the illustrations group, click on the shapes command. That is how you locate a command, and that is always something that you need to look out because they do ask that in the exams. So if you remember this little pattern, it will be very easy for you. Now, how do we create presentations? This is very easy. Now, there are two ways to create presentations. One is you can start with a blank presentation. Everything that has to be done is going to be done by you. Or there is a template that you can use which Microsoft provides you with. So what is a blank presentation? A blank presentation is something which has nothing on it. You have to build it from the start. You have to choose the colors, the style, the design. Everything is to be chosen by you. While if you go for the template option, it is already a themed slideshow. So it will help you give like a overall theme to your PPT, and it is actually pre-built. So you don't have to make much changes around it, and it is easier and faster to make your presentations stand out. So that's that. Now let's go to slide layouts. Now earlier, if you remember, I did talk about slides being the root of presentation in the features, in the features section of our video today. So how many types of slides are there? Because if you imagine, there can't be only one type of slide, yeah, because we have so much of different stuff to put on each slide that if everything looks the same, it will be rather boring. So that is why Microsoft has 9 types of slides that you can choose from. Okay, so among the 9 types of slide layouts, we choose each type of slide according to our needs. So if you just want to if you just want the title, there we have title slide, whereas if you want to compare with something with another thing, there is comparison slide. So these type of slides help you to work with different types of information. So let us start with the first type of slide, and it is the title slide. And something about the title slide, it is the default slide when you open a blank PowerPoint presentation. So you do keep that in mind, that whenever you open a blank presentation, title slide will be the first slide which is automatically going to come to your screen. Now you can change it, but by default it's title slide. So these are for using for beginning a presentation, and if you want a little something beneath the title, this is the slide that you must go for, the slide layout that you must go for. Now they have title and content. So in this you can actually add multimedia features, like you want to give it a title but you also want to include a picture or a video. You can use title and content. So that is title and content. Okay, so now let's go to the third one. I believe it's called section header. And it is useful for making a major section within your presentation. So let's say that you are proposing your business idea in front of investors, but you also want them to know your finances, which is kind of important. Yeah, that is when you use the section header slide to make a section within the presentation, but you are not using the title slide because it is a section within the presentation. It is not a presentation on its own. So that is why you will use the section header. Okay, now to content. Okay, so one thing about it is very similar to comparison, the comparison slide layout, so which I will be explaining in a minute. So something about to content is that if you want different elements at the same time, so let's say that you are talking about an apple, and in the title you put an apple, and in the description that is below it you just wrote down whatever is necessary about the apple. And let's say that you want a picture or a chart, anything, you can use the second column on the side, on the right side or the left side, whatever you want, to add a picture, a table, or whatever you need. So that is why they are calling it to content, because you can put two types of contents inside it. So even if it's two pictures, you can do that, two charts, if a picture and a chart, anything that you want, you can do it. So there will be two types of contents in the same slide, and that is why they put to content as its name. Okay, so if you see comparison, now it is actually really similar to content, except that they have the comparison slide layout actually has a very small box between the description and the title. Yeah, so what use is it? So it is, as it says, it is for comparisons. So let's say that we are comparing between odd and even. So in the title maybe you can add difference between odd and even, and below that in the small rectangle you can write odd on the left, you can write even on the right, whatever you want. And in the description you can write about it, you can add photos, you can add videos, charts, anything that you want. But when you are presenting it, it will look in a way that you are comparing both of them. So maybe you are finding the difference between them, or you are writing the pros and cons of anything. So if you want to compare two things, this is the slide that you should definitely go for. Okay, now the next slide is title only. The name says it all. It is only a title. There is no description. So if you want something like that, go for the title only slide. And now the blank presentation. So let's say that you have something you want to insert, but it is not from Microsoft, and you just, or if you just want a blank page also, it is completely fine, because the blank slide layout will do just that for you. So the next one is content with caption, and it is actually similar to the next and last slide. So this is called content with caption, whereas this is called picture with caption. Now if you look very closely, you will find a difference between the both of them. And if you have not understood, it is actually very simple. In content with caption, you can add all sorts of contents like pictures, videos, charts, table, smart art graphic, anything that you need. While in picture with caption, you can only add a picture. The rest of the content cannot be added. So let's say that you want to add a video. You can't do, let's say that you want to add like a chart. You cannot do that in picture with caption because there is only an option for picture there and not table or anything else. Whereas in content with caption, we can add anything that we want. The next topic is the types of content, and it is very simple actually. If you ask me what is content, it is basically something that you have already seen in the slides. You can see that there are 6 options in the slides. So a disclaimer is that the picture that I have shared is a current version of Microsoft, but the 2007 Microsoft PowerPoint does not have 8 options. It has 6 options, and that is what you need to write for the exam and not about the current one. So there are 6 types of contents that you can upload in your PPT. They can be chart, table, smart art graphic, insert picture from your file, insert clip art, and insert media clip. So I think it is pretty self-explanatory, but insert picture from file is basically importing a picture from your laptop or your PC. So your system should have that file so you can upload it to PowerPoint. And then there is insert clip art. You can play around with the formatting of words. It is very fun. Do check that out. So you can do that as well. And in the 6th one, when they mean media clip, they actually mean videos. So you can upload that as well. So that's it for today's video. So in this video, we covered part 1 of the creating presentations chapter of data entry operations. And I hope you have understood what I'm trying to say. If you haven't, please do let me know so I can improve it, so it is easier for you and your peers to understand the concepts as well. So that is it for today's video. I will be uploading the PPT in the description down below, but for the notes, I think I will upload it with the last part of this chapter, which is the next one. I plan on just taking 2 videos for this, and because the chapter is quite easy to understand and it is not that lengthy as well. So let's say that in the next part, which is most likely the last part, I would tell you that I would include the notes and the quizzes and the flashcards as well, and a question paper too if I can. So I hope you prepare yourself, and if while studying, please do take notes that are yours instead of just looking at the notes that I provide. It is very helpful if you make notes of your own, and it helps you understand it in your own way, so it is easier for you. And I hope I see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and also comment down below any feedback or anything that you would like to. Please share it with your friends as well. So thank you so much for sticking around till the end of the video. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.